All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So, we have here Falvodor. Is that how you say it? Correct?
Falvodor.
Falvodor. Sorry about that. Falvodor. So, I would need you guys to please, if you can see, my Nightbot will be showing his link to his YouTube. We're going to be talking, we're going to have a little interview, and it's going to be about the things that he makes. As you can see in the description, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So the first item here, can you explain a little bit about this product? This, I'm sorry, not product, your art.
So what I got here on the top are some ancient golem creatures. These are like old robots that have been overcome by nature. And I'm going to be using those in a D&D game I plan to be running in the future. And I wanted to spruce it up a bit and have some terrain that really matched their aesthetic as well. So I created these, and there's a video up on how I made these. Just these like little charging pods or pillars or something. They've got little lights in them. Just this little thing to add interest to the game board while we're playing. And then underneath that is actually something that I haven't made a video on yet, but is coming down the pipeline in the future. It's just this like rocky outcropping, and how I made that, it'll surprise you. It's really easy. It's just like 5 or 6 layers of cardboard and then just covered in sand and painted gray.
Okay. All right. And this is, do you have a name for each of your arts and your crafts that you do? Do you have names for everything?
Not really. It all kind of just melds into just a bunch of different stuff that I've made.
Okay. Hello, Trending. How are you? Please subscribe. It is in the description. If you could, in the Nightbot, I'm sorry, in the Nightbot, you can subscribe from there to him. We'd appreciate it. Thank you. All right, here we go. Let me show the next picture. Okay, and this is the next picture.
Oh yeah, so this
so cool. I saw this. I was like, oh, I love it. Go ahead.
This is something that I made recently. For a long time, my dad has been pestering me to like make a diorama, make something, I've made all of this stuff, and now make something small and make something that you could just display, make an actual piece of like art, really, like make something that you can look at totally self-contained and understand what's going on in there. So I have a video up on how I made this as well, and this I made in like 2 or 3 days. It was very easy, just like to get it all done. Most of the time, for a lot of these projects, is drying time, because PVA glue takes a really long time to dry, and sculpt mold and stuff like that. But this is built out of like a lot of scrap pieces of foam. The only real thing that's really expensive in this would be the miniatures, which are miniatures that I bought from Patreon, supporting artists online who make these beautiful 3D models. And I've taken a bunch of those over my years and saved them up and printed them off on my 3D printer and just built a diorama around them to try and tell their story.
And I forgot to ask you, how long does it take to do the other one, the first one? How long did it take to do this one? Let me show it back on here. I forgot to ask you that. I'm sorry. How long did it take for you to do this?
This was a pretty easy one. This it wouldn't have been very long. It's something that I did a very long time ago. I can't really remember, but it would have been just like an afternoon. Put aside an afternoon and get the little like pillars done. The golem creatures is what would have taken a bit longer to like fiddle around with all the detail of the miniatures and stuff like that.
Okay, I got you. All right. And this piece, how long did it take for you to do this one?
This was like over the course of a week, just taking several afternoons, making something, letting it dry, and just like going off and doing other stuff, and then coming back a little bit more in the future.
Okay, so are these figurines made by you, or did you buy these figurines and you put these in here?
So I bought the files, the model files online, and then printed them off on my 3D printer.
Okay, cool. I love it. That one's so cool. I really like that one. Okay, and this one?
This was a really long time ago. I was moving house. We were all moving house. It was really hectic, and I had all of these books, and I didn't really have a bookshelf proper. So I made these pair of bookends, so that way, in between both of those, I could put all of my books. It has since gone unused because I have an actual bookshelf now. I don't really need them. Now it's just a little display piece of these little dwarves. And on the left side, they're like entering this mysterious cave through this ruined bridge. And on the right side, they're like exiting the cave and they're finding all these golden riches on the other side.
Okay.
And that's
Let's
something
see.
that was built using a lot of plaster of Paris. That's like the main ingredient in this to get all those ribbed sort of textures on the wall of like a rocky sort of alien cave. And everything else is just actual rocks, like actual big rocks I got from outside, just to give it a lot of weight, because the rest of it is made of just pieces of cardboard laid on top of each other and then just plastered up in plaster.
Okay. And how long did that take to do this?
This took a lot of time to dry. This was one of those projects that you set it all up, you put it down, and you got to wait like overnight for it to dry. So that would have taken for like 2 or 3 days, mostly just waiting time for waiting things to dry. Like it takes like you spend like an hour on it, and then you have to leave it to dry overnight.
Okay. Let's see. And this one was, let me pull it up. Okay. And this one. Tell
So
us a little bit about this one.
this is a set of houses that I've got, and the I think the next picture might show the other two, and this is where I really started getting into making stuff. That one with the blue roof was the first one I built, and I have a video coming soon on the exact process and details on how I made and how I go about making all of this. But really, it is so dirt cheap. It's actually like insanely crazy. It is just cardboard for this main structure, cereal box cardboard for the shingles on the roof, and then oh, sorry, I'm getting cereal box cardboard for the structure of the roof,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of those little orange linings of the wood beams are just like stir sticks you'd get from Starbucks. So you could just, if you don't want to buy a packet of like 100 for $1, which is really cheap, really like accessible pretty much everywhere, you could just go to Starbucks, grab a handful, and run out
Mm-hmm.
before they can catch you. Um, and that's kind of how I built that, and it's just all made out of this really cheap material and goes together in like a day.
Okay. Okay. And you said within about a day, you said, well, you made this?
Yeah, each house takes about a day to make. Yeah,
Okay. Whoa. So that's like what, 3 days right there?
yeah.
Wow. That takes time. Definitely got to have patience for sure. Okay. And this one?
So this one here, based on when I made the diorama of the bear earlier, I built a bunch of little rock faces out of plaster, and I go through in that video how I made the rock faces using plaster, just using aluminium foil and plaster to make these great looking rock faces. In that video, I made like a bunch more rock faces that I didn't really need, so I went through and built a just a rock, just a grassy hill, because I felt like, well, why not just use up this extra stuff that I made? Um, so that's what the like gray side on one side is, that rocky face that I built, and the rest of the structure is actually built up using styrofoam, like the packaging foam you'd get from any electronic appliance. You just rip it up, flatten it out, stick it all down, and then cover it in some more plaster. And then to make it look like really nice, like it's a grassy hill, I go through with sawdust that has just been painted green. And because I'm really lucky that my dad has a bit of a workshop, he produces like quite a handful of sawdust, and I can just go through, sweep all of that up, and use it in my crafts.
That's cool. Okay, and about how long did it take to make this?
So this would have been something that I did over a long time just because I was lazy. But if you really were pushing forward and into it, you could just easily get this done in an afternoon.
Okay, okay, not too long. Okay,
And
and
then yeah,
this.
these are some pictures of some other houses, and I just kind of went crazy building higher and higher. And along the bottom, not all of the houses have this, but you see that this like brick structure,
Mm-hmm.
and these bricks were built using expanded polystyrene, the sort of foam that would be a lot more common in America. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that common in here in Australia, but it's actually used as insulation
Mm-hmm.
in walls and stuff like that. So that sort of insulation foam, in like colder climates, you can easily go around, just walk past a building site, and you'll see they'll have like a whole bunch of offcuts of that sort of stuff, and you can just grab some offcuts from the trash and take it home and build these little tiny bricks. And I laid them out, and really came together to bring a whole different level to these buildings.
Okay, and how long did it take to do these right here? You said day each for every house,
Yeah,
correct?
pretty much a day for every house. No matter how big it gets, the longest time really is if you get in the morning, you build the basic structure out, and you texture it. Then you just wait for it to dry, and you come in later on.
That is so cool. I love this. This is so cool. Okay, what is this? Come off of here. Okay, there we go. Okay, and these?
So my dad is super big into Hot Wheels. He loves little cars. He loves collecting them. As a kid, both me and my sister, we had like heaps of tubs of little cars.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we're both pretty much all grown up, we've kind of grown out of the little cars.
Okay.
So what I've done, there's this game called Gaslands, which is based on the Mad Max fantasy of these cars riding through the desert trying to secure oil and water for their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've done here is taken a bunch of pieces of rubbish. Some of them were zip ties. Some of them were pieces of these old like army uh, sets, like these old army toys you'd give like little kids, like these huge little plastic models. And I just take them off, file them down, cut them off, and stick them all on,
Okay.
and make these little Hot Wheels from a futuristic, sort of like modern, rather looking car into a post-apocalyptic, weathered um, truck built for survival.
Okay. All right. And how long did it take for you to do these?
These are really easy, really simple, and really great to get into because pretty much everyone has a Hot Wheels, and if you don't, you can get one for like $2. So these are really great to get into making, and will just take like an afternoon. You can sit down with your kids even, and take some Hot Wheels and modify them, make them look uh, cool and kit bash from the future.
That is so cool. Those are cool too. You're very talented.
Thank you.
Okay. And this one?
So um, this is one of my most recent ones, one that I'm really quite proud of. These modular trees. I have a video up on how I made these as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're great and super, super easy because it is just like the basic structure of all of these trees is just toilet rolls. Um, and I'm sure after the pandemic is kind of reaching its end, it's going to be a bit easier to get your hands on toilet rolls. So it'll be a bit easier and a bit cheaper to make these. But you just take the rubbish toilet roll, and then covering it in aluminium foil to make that barky, rocky texture,
Mm-hmm.
and you could build these trees out. And I built like all of these over the course of a few days,
Okay.
and then built like walkways to go in between them. Again, out of those coffee stir sticks from Starbucks.
Wow. So it was free to do these things. That's cool. See, that's brain.
Yeah,
That takes brain and talent. Look at this. This is awesome. That
yeah.
is
This was all
awesome.
all free materials, all of these.
Wow. So this is a close up, you guys. Oh gosh, this is so cool. You're so talented. Okay, and this one.
So this is just like a picture of all of the kind of models that I printed up to this point. You can see
Okay.
down the bottom, a lot of them are black and gray. I haven't painted them yet. I have a
Hmm.
lot of models that I haven't painted just because I like printing them and they look great, but I don't have the time of the day to paint every single one.
Okay.
But along the top, you got some that I painted, and I just thought I'd throw it in there to kind of
Okay.
show the variety that you can get from a 3D printer. And as 3D printing becomes more and more accessible, um, at least in my opinion, it is going to be very affordable and very possible for everyone to have a 3D printer in the coming 2 to 5 years.
Oh, this is so cool. So this is what they start as, these gray ones?
Yeah, so they're primed up, they're ready to get painted, but I haven't found the time yet.
That's
Yeah.
okay. No, I was just that's cool that you actually had some that are not that are unfinished, but it shows the talent that you have. You go from this to what this and then these with the color?
Yeah, up there, full color.
Look at the bear. That is amazing.
That bear was the first one I printed. First one I printed and painted.
Oh my goodness. Great work. Okay. And this one.
So I really love pirates. I've been trying for the longest time to build a pirate ship. Eventually, I'll figure it out, and I'll have a pirate ship built out of rubbish and scrap that I can post on YouTube. But in the meantime, all I have are these piers, which are again made out of coffee stir sticks and just some scrap pieces of dowel, like circular wood, just to build like the piers that would come up to the pirates' ship.
Oh, that's cool. And then you got pirates there. That's cool. Gosh, you got a lot of talent. Amazing talent. High five on your mom for having such a talented son. All right, there we go.
So this is actually the underside of one of the models that will
Okay.
be coming up in the future, uh, just to show what kind of goes into building a structure before it's been covered in paint. And this is just all like you've got a packing piece of styrofoam, you've got a bunch of different cardboard filler pieces, and you just like take all those pieces. You get a vision in your mind for how these pieces of rubbish and garbage fit together, really, and
Mhm.
then you stick them all together, and then you cover it in a layer of paint and bring out the details that you see there. And that's just
Okay.
like the underside that shows what's inside a lot of these models.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
that's the top side. So you can see the curved piece is where I kind of started. I found this curved piece of foam. I think it came from an air fryer, and I was like, okay, this looks like something. I got to make something out of this. And then I took
Right.
a bunch more pieces, just kind of started sticking stuff together, and built this power plant. It's kind of this old,
Wow.
worn out, and beaten up power plant that'll fit
Amazing.
perfectly in that little car game as well. It'll fit perfectly with those cars.
Okay. And how long did it make for you take to make this? Sorry.
So stuff like this is a bit longer because it takes a bit of trial and error. If you want to make something that you're really proud of, because you like put it together and you're like, I don't really like how that came out. You take some pieces off, you stick some more pieces on, and something like this, while it can, if you're just like sitting down and doing it over the whole course of an afternoon, you can spend like 2 or 3 afternoons building it and then painting it. I
Mhm.
think this one took me more like a week of just on and off. I'd come back to it and do a bit more work.
Oh, wow. Okay. And this one?
So again, my dad loves his little Hot Wheels, and he was like, "You have to make something. You have to make something like a diorama using Hot Wheels." And I was like, "Okay." And then he got this car, and he was like, "Make this car. This car's like really old. It had a bunch of broken pieces on it. Make this car look like it's been run down in the bush." I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay," and I ran with it, and I kind of tried to make it look like a bit of the Australian outback we got here.
Mm-hmm.
and then just completely covered it with this rusty effect that I mixed up using just brown and black paints to make it look like the car's really been rusted over. And then
Like
just
an
twigs from the
antique, right?
backyard and
Like an antique car. It almost
like an
looks
antique that
antique-ish.
yeah, he hasn't seen the best care over the
Right.
years.
Right.
So I
Um,
got a bunch of twigs from outside, and they served as the trees, and then a bunch of
okay.
rocks as well, and they served as like the rocky foundation of this outback terrain. And then that little man sitting out the front, that was actually a recent addition. This is something that I built months ago now,
Mm-hmm.
and the little man was part of a project a commission I made for, again, my dad. He wanted to build a World War II sort of diorama to give
Mm-hmm.
to a friend for Secret Santa. So this is just a leftover World War II miniature that he stuck on himself, so he could feel like he did participate and he had fun making it as well.
Okay. I just wanted to let you know. At it again, media said you need toilet rolls. I got plenty.
I might be around to get some because I got some big ideas.
And Screech, thank you for coming. At it again, thank you for coming. Let's see who else is in here. Whoever's in here, please make sure you subscribe. And I do have a couple of subscribers already. Um, Music Corner subscribed, and Trending subscribed to you as well. So I just wanted to let you know that. And I don't see anybody else. So thank you for coming. I appreciate you guys being in here. All right. And this one. Oh, I loved this one. I had to put this on my thumbnail. I loved it. Oh my God, I love
Yeah,
this.
this is something that you really sit down and you just get into the zone, and this is something I was really in the zone making. um which is, it's just like a little stagecoach that you'd see in, like, the medieval times of this rich family with their stagecoach. And I think there might be a picture later on with a few horses tied up to it.
Okay.
Um but this is something that's built out of, it's basically just paper, and a little bit of foam board. So the basic structure is built out of foam board, which in Australia, getting a hold of foam board or foam core or poster board is really difficult to do, because that's not really something that we have a lot of access to. I'm pretty sure it's a lot easier to get a hold of in America, but in Australia, it's something that's really hard to come by. So I have to really ration it when I get it. And this just used a little tiny bits, and then I come through with pieces of cardstock, so like cereal box cardboard, and just make the banding around the edge to make it look like, oh, it's got these pieces of wood that have been run around, and you get just like a piece of wire brush, run it along the banding to make it look like it's all scratched up like old
Mm-hmm.
wood.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got like a few beads on there. The little buttons on the sides are made with ear cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
That just like cut down the tube of the ear cleaner, gets a really nice little nail, as if it's been nailed. The wood's been nailed into the entire structure, and the
Okay.
wheels are made of old PVC pipe that I've just cut down into a really thin piece of pipe, and stuck it on either side. And the wheels have an axle going in between them, so they actually roll, and it works, which is something that I'm really happy with.
That is so cool. Yeah, and I actually love the detail on this door. It looks like an actual door, like when you're in a cart. It's literally looks like everything looks so realistic. Like I would
Yeah.
ride in this if it was a, larger, of course. That's cool. Love it. Okay. And this one?
So I got quite a few pictures of this. This is something I didn't really come up with this idea. I saw it online and I kind of took it and ran with it. Um, and these are just like old, well, technically giant mushrooms in the scale that I'm working at, but for us they're very small. And these mushrooms are built with pieces of foam that have just been like covered up, and a few toilet rolls to get the real thick ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the like veiny kind of like wooden sort of bark texture on it is hot glue that's just been run along the side, and then all of that is painted up and kind of made up to look like these old mushrooms, which is really
Wow.
fun. Yeah.
And how long did it take for you to do this? This actually looks realistic. All this
Uh,
here looks so realistic.
so these I made a whole bunch over
Mm-hmm.
the course of a weekend, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of
Wow.
once you get into the groove of making it, and you're making a lot at the same time, it gets done like super quick.
Okay. Sweet. I like that. Okay. And this one.
Oh, so this is part of a modular system that I'm working on. So you can have your game board. It's got a couple of the houses there. The stagecoach on the side pulling up, and this is one of the more advanced things. There's not a lot of reusing or recycling going on here. It's a lot of foam that has just been cut up into all of these squares that you can then swap and change around to make it look like whatever scene you want. And
Okay.
I've got dirt ones, I've got grass ones, I've got a few stone ones, which are you can see on my YouTube channel, and they're all magnetized. So there's a board underneath them with a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
magnets on it, and then each individual foam piece has a screw drilled in the middle, so it can just snap onto the board, and they won't all go tumbling down, or with one push they won't all get mislodged.
That is so cool. Okay. And how long did it take for you to do this?
This was something that took a long time, a lot of drying time. Each Thank God for the foam cutter that I have. I bought a hot wire cutter and cut out all of these square pieces in an afternoon. It took like an hour or two to cut out. I've cut out like at this point maybe 300 or 400 of these square tiles.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them are there, of course. And then I painted them all brown, and then waited for all of that to dry, and then I went over the top, covered it in the green sawdust, and then waited for that to dry another night, and then I went through and sealed all that in with some PVA glue to make sure it wasn't flaking up all the time, and that dried over another night as well. So all up, probably you'd have to put aside a couple of hours every night for about a week.
Wow, that looks like it took some time because it's details. Details is
Yeah.
everything. Okay. And this is the same one, or is this a different one? Because it
So this
looks
is some more
similar.
pictures of the mushrooms, but as well as
Okay.
that, there are also these rocky structures
Oh yeah.
that I built,
Okay.
and that is just layers of packing foam. The the sort of styrofoam that has all the little balls that
Mm-hmm.
make you a huge mess or everywhere you go, all the time. And this does also make a huge mess. I'm sure everyone in my house can attest to it. The floor after I made these was covered in the little styrofoam balls. But I just cut several layers of it and stuck them all on top of each other to make it look like a sort of like sedimentary rock that was
Mm-hmm.
building up over the ages, and then to give it the texture along the outside and also to harden it quite a lot. I came in with a blowtorch and just kind of melted the exterior of each of the pieces, and that's what gives it that old like kind of alien sort of texture. And I
Mm-hmm.
painted it up with a pink and a purple and a blue to make it really look like an alien sort of planet
Oh, that is
or
so
something like
cool.
that.
That's cool. Okay. And how long you said? How long did it take for you to do this one?
This is something that's a lot of drying time as well. But if you build it in bulk, it's really good because I just like put all the layers on and have to wait like at least a day for all the PVA glue to dry in between, and then come through the next day with the blowtorch and then paint it up. So 2 afternoons you can get this done.
Okay. And this is another part
This is
of it
just,
as well.
yeah, more
Okay.
angles of the same. And the blue mushrooms are a bit different. They're built just using a styrofoam ball and just
Mm-hmm.
slice that down the middle to make it perfectly halved and built up the middle the same way I did with the other ones, with just pieces of foam and to get the barky texture, just running hot glue along it.
Okay. All right. And this one.
Yeah, so this is a work in progress shot of the Stagecoach. You can kind of see all the pieces that have gone into it. And I actually went in and went to the effort to build the interior. So you got a couple of benches in there. You can sit your little pirates down in, and they can sit
Yes.
comfortably. Um, so you knew if you shrink down a bit, you can go for a ride in the Stagecoach. There is
Oh,
enough room.
that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And how long did it take for that one to get done? At least I know
So
it's not
yeah.
done yet, but to the as far as being in process, how long that process has been taking?
So that was like the first afternoon that progress shot was taken, and then this
Hmm.
one, the final shot, was taken the next day. And I've got some horses there that have they have magnetized little circles on them, and the stagecoach is also magnetized, so they stick on and won't move around.
Oh,
The
that's
horses are things that I 3D printed as well, and they have like little divots, so like a pirate like him could sit on top of the horse with that flat circular
oh,
base.
okay. That's cool. All right. And how long did it take for you to make this one?
So the stagecoach, yeah, something that I'm really, really proud of, and I spent just like 2 afternoons building
Okay.
it, and another one going through with some detail painting.
Okay. Yeah. That's got to take some time to paint those figurines, though. Gosh, that looks like it takes a
Yeah,
lot of time.
I spend
'Cause- Go ahead.
probably like if I really want a really nice looking detailed miniature, I spent upwards of 3 hours working on it, going through with layers. I spent one time I spent like 2 hours just painting a dress
Mm-hmm.
for this one miniature. But really, miniature painting is really rewarding because you get what you put in, and you put a lot of time in, and you'll get a better result, and you can really see that come to life as you're doing it. So it's really satisfying.
Yeah, I see. That's cool. And it's like so detailed, like you actually have to use the smallest probably brushes, right? To get in the little small crevices and make sure you don't paint on top of other parts to kind of, make sure it's nice and clean and not all, you know, paint on top of paint, color on top of color. So you have to have like little small brushes, or do you use regular brushes and you just have to be precise?
It kind of comes down to the point of the brush. You can have a really like big sort of brush, but if it comes to a very fine point, you can
Mm-hmm.
use that really well to your advantage to get in there. And there are hundreds and thousands of painting tutorials all over the internet. Um, and there are a lot of cheat sort of ways you can get around and get with a pretty nice looking model that you can be quite satisfied with.
Okay. And how long did this one take to make?
This little pirate guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I painted him in about an hour, hour and a half. I did not
Okay.
put a lot of time into this one.
Okay. And how long did it take to make the whole thing with the horses and everything?
So all up, I think it would have been pretty much a week's work on and off.
Okay. All right. So, okay, that was not going to be shown.
Yeah, that was the last one. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That was cool. I mean, you're very talented. And
Thank
how
you.
long have you been doing these figurines and designing and making, like I said, one man's trash is another man's treasure?
Well, it all really would have started when I was a child, playing with
Mhm.
Legos, kind of like building, creating, breaking down a set and building it into something else. where that really kind of kindled that recycling sort of nature, and really just being creative with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but as far as it goes for making these miniature models, that's something that I really started. It would have been maybe like 2 years ago now that I really
Okay.
got into it and started
Okay.
making stuff.
So, did you get your creativity from your mom or your dad, or both?
Um, Gee, I don't know. What I say here could really have ramifications on what may be to come in the following weeks, especially with Christmas being so close. Uh, I'd have to say they are both absolutely wonderful. And it's creativity is something that's fueled, and if you can do that from a young age, like they did, it really means the world to me now to look back and know that I've had a really good life to be able to pursue these sort of ideas, even just as a hobby. But
Okay.
I recommend to everyone, no matter what your age, just start making stuff. If you want to make something, give it a go. And you don't need the greatest materials. You can just
Mm-hmm.
use some rubbish that you find on the ground.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. And at right now, your age is what are you as far as how old are you? Or if you don't mind
I
saying.
am, I'm 21.
21. Okay.
Yeah, in university at the moment.
Okay. So Screech said, I'd say this guy was born that way. Oh, yeah, he's very talented for sure. For sure, he's talented, extremely talented. Um, so you're are you pursuing are you going to be going like to college, or are you good with what you're doing as far as like this is what you want to do, or is there like some kind of college that has to do with crafting and things you might want to learn?
So this is I'm in my final year of college now. I've been
Okay.
studying economics and accounting.
Okay.
But that's really bland, to be honest. Um, but it's good that I got into it, and I've been getting decent enough marks so I can get a well sustaining job to kind of fuel my hobby here in making
Hmm.
stuff. And if something comes of it, then something comes of it. But if something doesn't, then I'm okay with that. I just like to share what I made and hopefully inspire other people to get their creative juices flowing as well.
Right. Okay. Let's see. You're doing great at this interview. You seem to have a lot of knowledge in interviews, obviously, because you're handling yourself very, very like like you've been doing it for years. So you said you were telling, because when I asked you about being nervous on here, what did you tell me that would make you not so nervous? Because I know I was nervous for a while until I got used to being on here.
So for the longest time, ever since I was in uh, high school,
Hmm.
I've been really loud. I have been very like um, quiet, really, like when it comes to talking to large groups of people, or like it's difficult for me to kind of do that. But as uh, as I was going through high school, I got really comfortable with live presentations, oral presentations, that sort of stuff, and a lot of that was kind of kindled by my English teachers, who really supported just talking, and a lot of that comes from my um, kind of learning to just improv and just go with the flow and just kind of talk my way through problems in high school, and ever since then, it has kind of just kept flowing on into my life
Okay.
as just something that I like to do.
Okay, so I know I'm probably putting my foot in my mouth right now asking this question, but did you get your personality more from your mother or your father?
Uh there are pieces from both. Um, my mother, she likes to talk a lot, and will, if you sit down with her, 3 hours will pass and neither of you will notice somehow. Um, and she could talk your ear off and tell you the same story hundreds of times. And my father is very much the extreme opposite of that, and I kind of fall in between in that area.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my husband's the quiet one and I'm the talkative one. So I guess that majority of the time it's the woman who talks more than the man. So I guess that's, yeah, that's about right. Okay. So, uh, are you going to follow through even, I mean, with the education that you're getting, for accounting? Are you going to ever become an accountant, or are you just going to have that as as something as your backup education and keep going through with your crafting, or do you plan it to ever sell your crafts, or is it just something you want to just keep accumulating?
Um, I am probably going to go into the workforce and end up as an accountant in some way, shape, or form. I've got a lot of good training from university to kind of fit into that sort of area.
Okay.
And at least at the moment, crafting stuff is just a hobby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Australia, Western Australia.
Okay. I could tell you're from Australia because your accent. I try to do that accent so bad and it just never works out. It sounds like I'm just, I don't know, country or something, more like a country Australian on the Bobby, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Screech says, wow, sounds just like my family too. So I think it's just, I don't know, women just tend to have the vocal part and the man kind of just like quiet. I don't know. I haven't really seen too many of the dads being the vocal ones and the mothers the quiet one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's very rare. I mean, I've never met any, so I don't know.
Yeah. Me neither. I have not seen it. The roles reversed.
Yeah. Let's see. So, is there anything else you would like to tell me about, as far as what are your new endeavors on your crafting? Are you going to go any like more advanced, or are you going to stay where what you're doing right now? As far as like when I say advanced, I mean like bigger things.
I've got something big in the pipeline right now. That should be coming um soon enough. Probably in a couple of weeks.
Hmm.
Something bigger that I'm working on. That kind of puts everything that I've made today to shame, really. Hopefully, if it turns out how I envision it. But that should be good. But most of the time, I'm going to stick to like how can you make something out of nothing? Because I really like that idea and it really allows kind of anyone to really get into making stuff. And I really want to inspire people to get creative with what they have.
Right, because a lot of people worry about the financing part of it. Like they don't want to have to pay for so many things and to be able to do this, do that. For you, you're using things that are like around you. You don't have to sit there and just keep buying things. They just kind of accumulate as you use toilet paper or um, what did you say, the dust from your father's wood and things like that, like the things that you're using are things that are around your house. I think the only thing you're probably buying is glue, right? Basically.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, it's just you can buy a pot of PVA glue, a hot glue gun, and some craft paints
Mm-hmm.
for like $20,
Mm-hmm.
and you're ready to go and you're ready to get started just making stuff.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and you don't even need to do that. I'm sure you might have some glue left over if you have kids. You might have glue. If you are a
Mm-hmm.
kid, you probably have a glue stick, or like Elmer's glue or something like that. And you just start making stuff with what you have now. I've seen a lot of good I now I don't I'm not saying that kids should be doing this if they're still in school and need them, but a lot of people make out of colored pencils. They make stuff and just cut up colored pencils and use that as their building material.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need to use the colored pencils, you should not be doing that. Only when you don't need to use them anymore.
Right, right. I get what you're saying. So you can utilize them after you've done after you're done using them. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so my other question was, are you ever thinking? Because like I know they have like companies who see things. They make people make models of it, and then they take it to a company, and they make that into something big, and it literally you could come up and end up like getting you know you could become rich from that. So have you ever thought of making like a model for a company, and then they go through and they just say, oh well, that's awesome, let me go ahead and we're going to make this come to life, and then you get paid for that? Have you ever thought of doing that? I forgot what they call that. I guess it's like some type of uh, what they call it, not agriculture.
Like a concept artist?
Yeah, like you would put things together, you make a model of it, and they would make it come to life, like a building, anything.
There was a time, a really long time ago, back in high school, where I was thinking about being an architect, which,
Architect, that's the word. Exactly.
yeah,
Thank you for coming up with
uh,
that, because I really had my tongue was twisted. I kept coming up with agriculture. I don't know why. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
where I'm looking at now from where I'm standing, it's like that probably would have been a nice thing to study at a university, but of course I'm in my final year now. I can't really go back on that.
Mhm.
Um, but it's not something that I'm actively pursuing. But if the opportunity ever comes up, of course.
Okay. Because I have seen movies where they use a model and they make it into a reality, like a big building of whatever it is that they make models of. So that would be an awesome thing to see. And I would love to see something like that happen with you, because you're very talented. I mean, like, look at that cart. Like, with everything that comes, things that are coming back, like maybe the bell bottoms. Okay, so they came back, right? How about you have the cart that comes back? You know what I'm saying? Like, you make the cart, the ones that you make, and the way you would design it, and make it, and then they make it come to life into a regular size for people to get into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That would be cool.
that would be quite the opportunity.
Yes, that would be cool. I don't see why it would be too far fetched, because you are very, very talented. It's okay. So, Precious Decal is my daughter in law. Uh, Please subscribe to his channel. It's right there above your head. The Nightbot has the link for you guys. So, please make sure you subscribe. I appreciate that. Let's see. So, Street said, let's see. I'd say study agriculture. Nope, not agriculture. What is that word you said earlier? Because my mind is not even here.
Architecture.
Architecture.
Yeah,
Architecture. That's the word for it. Sorry. And do set designs for movies. Yeah, that would be cool. And even Precious Decal, which is my daughter in law, like I said that would be, she said, absolutely, she will subscribe to you. And let's see. Do you guys have any questions for him? Falvador, right? I keep saying it wrong.
Falvodor. Yeah.
Salvador. Do you guys have any questions for Falvador? Any question? If he doesn't answer it, then obviously it's not something you need to be asking. Just saying. Sometimes we have questions that don't belong to be questioned. So, um, anybody has any questions? Okay, so he's right there under you, Precious. So my daughter-in-law, she makes decals. As you can see, her name is Precious Decal. That's not her last name, just so you know. She makes decals, stickers, decals for cars, stickers. Um, she does mouse pads. She's amazing. She makes cups. She made me a cup with you new on it, and then it glows in the dark. So cool.
That's
Very
awesome.
talented. Yeah, just very talented. What would you want for Christmas?
The box that everyone else's gifts came in.
He wants the boxes that your gifts came in. And what else? No, something that you would like for Christmas. Like something that you want for Christmas that you don't have yet, or maybe add to your supplies. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, mostly just the cardboard boxes that people got. Any nice, interesting shaped styrofoam would be good.
Okay.
Um, you know, inspiration. It's a
Hmm.
hard thing to come by as well. If you got any of that lying around,
Okay.
I'll take it in shovelfuls.
Okay. So you heard that. If you have any inspirations, like a design that you might be interested in seeing him put to life, he's saying he's willing to give it a go. Make sure it's nothing expensive, something that he can make from products from home. Don't go looking for things people like made out of real bricks or anything. Like, just things that are feasible for him, not without having to pay a bunch of money for it. Because this is what he does. He take, excuse me, he takes a man's trash to make it into treasure. So, as it says right there, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So, Precious says, I'm not sure if this has been asked already, but what would his dream project be, and who would he like to do it with? Do it for? Sorry, do it for.
Oh, that's a tough one. Um, what one thing that I've always wanted to kind of get working, and something that I've got a lot of prototypes that have kind of ended up at the bottom of a barrel, kind of in the bin, is making a pirate ship that is to this kind of scale for all these things. So not a very big or grand project, but um, I just really want to perfect the pirate ship design to make a modular, playable, interactive pirate ship you can use in these war games and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. But then make it out of something that is very easily accessible, like cardboard and popsicle sticks and stuff like that.
Okay, that was a great question. Do you have any more questions, Precious? I knew you were gonna come up with a good one because you and your college brain. I don't know what to say. Yeah, they're in my son and my daughter-in-law are in business and business management. And they're about to graduate this Saturday, 4-year college.
Wow!
Yeah, with
Congratulations.
honors. Yeah, with honors. So they did great. 4 years, I would have been like, maybe 1 year, please. Can I not do 4? So she said she's still thinking. But that was a great question. That was actually a really great question. Yeah, because I would like to see one of his creativity, his little arts and crafts that he's making right now into something huge. And then he and his family will have to ask for nothing because it's all going to be handed to him, by him doing this one project. See, Precious, see, I like to watch things like this. Okay, so she said, I like to watch a lot of things like this on YouTube. So I have so many questions. Well, let's go. Hand them over. If we haven't asked him yet, you could ask him. Yeah. She said, that sounds awesome. Yeah. He's very talented. I mean, I'm going to show you real quick the pictures really quick because you didn't get to see them. Or maybe, you know what? You can go watch the replay. There you go. I don't want to take all his time because he might have something to do. Yeah. So I don't know if you knew this, but all my family members in here are my dolphins. I did explain that to you at the beginning, didn't I? I think I did in the
Yeah,
backyard.
everyone's
Yeah.
dolphins.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It's very beautiful.
Dolphin fam. Thank you. Okay, so she says, what has been your favorite thing that you've created so far? Your favorite?
So far it's probably got to be that Stagecoach that was
Mhm,
shown earlier,
mhm.
or the Modular Trees that I built and are on YouTube recently. Just because both of them are so usable and they look great and they were really easy to make and really
Mhm.
cheap. Um, but I'm hoping that my next project can dethrone both of those.
Okay. Any more questions? Just keep them coming. She said, I'm going to watch those. Yes, you're going to have to watch them. Let's see. Anybody else has any questions? Precious, if you have any more questions. Oh, she said, what is your favorite medium to work with?
I work with everything. One video that will be coming soon is pretty much exclusively based around popsicle sticks. Because you can get popsicle sticks for insanely cheap. I got a pack of 150 for $1, and just made a whole bunch of stuff out of it. So popsicle sticks are amazing and great. Also, a little bit thinner, the coffee stir sticks from Starbucks, and also a little bit cheaper if you just take them from Starbucks, and they don't ask any questions, and you get out of the building as soon as you can. They're also amazing to work with. Um, and then cardboard is just a godsend. You can build pretty much anything under the sun out of cardboard and cardstock. So there are so many sizes of card that you can work with that are all great.
Okay. And Screech said, have you studied graphic design?
I studied graphic design for 3 or 4 years in high school. Yes.
Okay.
It is something that I wanted to do a long time ago, but it's just kind of fallen by the wayside because it's just kind of um, difficult to get into the graphic design world and be um, kind of like treated with the respect that you deserve. Because a lot of the time in those sort of mediums, if you're working for someone else, all of your work will go under their name. So it's kind of difficult to get into that world and make a name for yourself.
Okay. You guys are giving me really great questions. I have another one. What advice would you give to someone that is interested in starting a smaller project?
Um, collect collect things. I have here just a bottle. It's like a yogurt container, and inside of it are a couple of Yakult bottles, and I've got a couple of lids for those containers, water bottle lids. Um, just start collecting stuff. Spend like a week looking for interesting shapes and interesting things, and then sit down at the end of the week after you've collected them all and lay them on the table and just start thinking about what you can do. Start cutting stuff, piecing it together, so kind of like dry fitting it all and trying to find a shape in what you can create with these objects. And it could just be just that, like sitting down with a bunch of stuff will trigger that sort of inspiration to lead you into making uh, these sort of things that you want to make and kind of give
Great.
you the idea for creativity.
Great answer. Great question and great answer. Is there any particular type of cardboard you like to use?
So cardboard, it has like many different names and many different ranges. It ranges all the way from the cardboard that a cereal would come in, so that's called card stock. It's like thicker sort of card material, and then it can be like single corrugated, like a lot of Amazon boxes now are moving to single corrugation, which is just a very thin cardboard with the um like I guess corrugation within it. This like zigzag pattern when you open the cardboard and look in between the two sheets it has a zigzag pattern. That's a single corrugated, and then there's double corrugated, which is just two of those zigzag patterns, and that's the kind of the thickest sort of material that I'd work with.
Okay. Any more questions? So what drew you to use your craft, your talent to YouTube?
So my father, for the longest time, has been a motor trimmer. So make like car seats, um, he was doing for a really long time covers for your boat engine that you just like put over the engine, and like all of this sort of stuff out of upholstery, right?
Hmm.
And while he was doing that, and while he would work on his cars and all of this sort of stuff, he would take progress pictures. And then one day, I'd made something, and he was like, "Do you have pictures of how you made it?" And I was like, "Oh, no, no, not really." So I thought I'd do him one better and make videos of how I made them.
Okay, great. The other question is, what out of a box mediums would you like to use?
Out of the box stuff, there are a lot of good pre-made models and stuff like that, like skulls and bricks and such. That I don't really use because it's just kind of expensive. And I
Hmm.
can 3D print a lot of that stuff, but that sort of stuff is good. A lot of clay um, is some stuff that I've tried to work with in the past. I haven't really gotten anything that I'm really proud of made out of clay yet, but
Hmm.
clay is something that is a good material to work with as well. Um, and what is sorry, I'm just drawing a blank.
It's okay. Take your time. So, while you figure that one out, can you tell me what are mediums? Why does she keep using the word mediums? Because the only mediums I know is like a medium size something or a medium as in psychic. So, what is a medium in crafts? Because
So
people might
medium
want to know what that is.
medium is anything you use, like anything at all you use. So it can come from the popsicle sticks to the cardboard to the sheet of paper that you draw on to the paints that you use. Medium is just what you use to create
Okay.
your arts and crafts. The last thing I was thinking about, sorry, was plaster. Plaster is something that I use quite a lot of as well.
Okay.
It's very good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sometimes we kind of draw blanks and sooner or later it just comes out.
Yeah.
Me, it might take me all day because it'll irritate me if I can't get an answer. If I can't figure it out. And I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. If I can't get it out, I swear it'll be all day before I figure it out. But I will figure it out. But it'll happen that day because I will sit there and waddle in it until I figure it out. Um, yes, mediums are their supplies. Thank you. Not a problem. It's okay. You don't have to be sorry. Oh, he fell off. Maybe he'll be back. Anyway, so I don't know if you've seen my video, but look what oh, he's back. Okay. You okay?
Sorry. Yeah, the browser just crashed.
I
I'm
don't
back.
know why these things do this, but oh God, it's so annoying. So let's see. I'm also drawing a blank on questions, lol. It's okay. It's okay. You're doing great. Appreciate it. Anybody else has questions while Precious comes up with some? If not, are you in a hurry or you're good for now?
I'm pretty good for now.
You're good.
I've got
Okay.
I've got some time. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, anybody else has any more questions? Screeds, Precious, anybody that's in here that's hiding in the bushes, please come out. We have people who like to hang out in bushes. I don't know why. They don't want to say anything. They just kind of sit in there and they just, watch from afar, I guess you could say. Hey, Trending, how are you? So that's going to be one of your subscribers, your new subscribers. She says, shh. Oh, she must be sleeping. Are you trying to take a nap? Oh, Precious says, have you ever had a project that wasn't necessarily your favorite?
I've done a lot of things that have that I've like built and have just essentially ended up instantly in the bin. Because I just didn't like it, and I mean it's made out of garbage anyway. So if it didn't come out the way I wanted it, I just put it where it goes to get recycled properly. Um, like a lot of those would come back again to the prototypes that I built for pirate ships and stuff like that. Um, so a lot of that is a lot of trial and error, trying to figure out the best way to make it structurally sound and
Mhm.
usable, but also make it modular and have a level of detail that I'm really like looking for. And a
Okay.
lot of those have ended up just like, not looking great, or I've just stopped, given up, and put them to the side.
Okay. Now, I had another question, and that was, have you ever tried to make one of your crafts and it didn't work out, or maybe frustrated you?
Um, I it's very hard to get me frustrated. That that's one of the things that I can say is without a doubt a positive trait that I have.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I've never really gotten frustrated or like just had something just not work.
Hmm.
I've had like prototypes, of course, where like trying to figure out something, but if it's not coming to me and I can't figure it out, you just put it on the shelf or and come back to it at a later date.
All right. And the next question is, how long do your projects take on average?
Um, for the past uh month or so, as I've
Hmm.
been making YouTube videos, I've been making things in a day. I've been making things like over the course of a week, just coming back to it every now and then. I've not really had anything that runs longer than that, unless I'm waiting for materials,
Hmm.
which I currently am. Currently waiting for 3D printed resin to come in so I can start making something more. But usually, I find it best to make something, even if it's part of a larger project,
Hmm.
make like one piece at a time. That you can really like sit there and be proud of, and really push you to get everything completed.
Okay. I have a question from Trending. She said, your video of your first diorama, I guess that is great.
Yep.
And then she said, what do you use for painting it? What do you use? What do you use to paint with?
So I use this paint brand called uh, El Doro di Palo, which is um, a Latin or Spanish rather paint brand. In I know it's in Australia at least. I can get my hands on it here for pretty cheap, and it's very good quality. But other than that, you just go down to your local $2 shop and just pick up a handful of paint pots. I know that places in America like Dollar Tree, I think you have, is one of the premier places to kind
Hmm.
of go and get everything that you could want for making something like this, paints included. So you can just use normal, cheap acrylic paints for painting the diorama. For painting the models, I use more model paints. With they are quite a bit more expensive. For like a much smaller pot of model paint is going to cost you like $5 or so,
Hmm.
but you can get really good bundle deals with Vallejo or Army Painter, and they come in great bottles, and you can really get a long life out of those paints. And they're really good for miniatures because the amount of detail you need in a miniature, you need to have a very thin paint that is also very strong, and
Hmm.
you can get that with model paints, and you can't really get that with just normal acrylic craft paints.
Okay. Hello, Flowers. How are you? Thank you for coming. Can you please subscribe to Falvador? Said it right, right?
Yeah.
Falvador. Can you please subscribe to Falvador? It is right there above you. The Nightbot has the link for it. I appreciate it. Thank you. She said that's a really good idea. And then she also said, this is before the paint question. And then she said, what has been your largest project?
My largest project is currently in the pipeline. I have something very big coming, hopefully in January, sometime around then. But before that, I can't really give any spoilers as to what that will be. But it's
Dun,
something
dun,
that
dun,
I'm hoping.
He has a secret.
Uh, yeah, I'm something that I'm hoping will come out very great. But apart from that, the largest project that I've really done and completed would be a lot of my houses as like individual structures, like
Mhm.
just the big houses that I built. I've got a video coming on how I build those houses in the coming 2 weeks. I've got a video on that coming up, and I've also, as just part of like a larger project, it would be those trees and the Imperial Bunker, which is all part of a series that I'm building a really big forest board that you can play the tabletop game Star Wars Legion on.
Okay. Okay, and let's see. Oh, and then Trending said, thanks for the information, sir.
No worries, thank you.
She's for the Philippines.
Oh, nearby,
Yeah.
near me.
Yeah. I think they have like the same hours as you, correct? I believe so.
Yeah, some places I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Street said, do you have or would you use a spray booth?
I've got a spray booth. Some of the pictures from earlier were taken in my spray booth because that's my best lighting setup I have at the moment. Um, and it's just like a cheap portable spray booth and spray gun as well, air gun. And I use it haphazardly. Something that I want to get into using more, but it's definitely not a necessity, not even at all, not even close to a necessity.
Mhm.
It's just another tool to have in your arsenal to kind of just make stuff, really.
Okay. And Precious said, ooh, that sounds really cool from the question before. Any more questions? Okay, so she says, what made you want to use a cheaper medium for your blind or your builds? I'm sorry, your builds. Sorry about that. Your builds.
I'm stingy. I don't want to spend my money.
He's
uh,
frugal. His
yeah.
mom, his
Uh,
mom or dad taught him well. That's what's going on here.
yeah. And like the miniature painting hobby can get extremely expensive very quickly. And there are videos on YouTube of people spending thousands of dollars on buildings and everything along the same sort of line. But you really don't need to. And honestly, it's a lot more approachable just to make things out of really cheap materials. And that's what kind of drew me into doing it, just because it was so approachable. And now I want to kind of inspire other people to do that and share that with other people.
Okay. Any more questions? She said, I feel that about your question as far as the spending.
Yeah.
She said, I feel the same way when making my crafts since everything is so expensive. Yeah. She literally buys as she does things instead of like just spending a lot of money on a bunch of stuff. I mean, she has things to her disposal, but um she buys a lot of things that she does not like. If somebody orders something, unless they order something, she doesn't sit there and just gotta have a bunch of stuff there. She has things, but the things that she needs for that project, she'll go out and buy it right then and there, and
Yeah.
then she'll know what to charge for that product, because she doesn't like overcharging. And I keep telling her to stop worrying about that, because it takes time to do those projects that you're doing, or making those decals or the cups. It takes time and a lot of time to do those. So I'm like, don't worry about charging a little bit for your time, because it takes a lot of time and effort for these things. Same thing for him. If he was to start selling these structures, is that what they would call that, structures,
Yeah.
crafting, you know
Yeah.
hey, how are you, fun to be blonde? Please subscribe to Flavador. Sorry, can't get it straight. But yeah, so I keep telling her, you got to charge a little something for your time, because your time is priceless, just like your life is priceless. You know what I'm saying? So you do need
Mhm.
to charge a little bit. Um, she's at work. Okay. Thank you for coming, sweetie. I appreciate that. Precious says, I have a small inventory of certain things that I keep more organized, but larger things I go by as they are ordered. Yes, like that kind of thing. So that way she's not spending all that money and is just sitting there at the house. You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't make sense to me to do that. So I'm
Yeah.
glad she does that. She's very smart when it comes to that.
Another
Let's
thing,
go ahead.
uh, sorry, when you're buying materials for crafts and stuff like this, there is like a craft tax. If you put craft in the name of your item, they will want to charge you more for it. Or if you put miniature in the item, they will want to charge you more for it. So for like the coffee stir sticks, if you were to search up, at least it's this way for me in Australia. If I were to search up craft sticks and I were to buy craft sticks online, they would charge me exorbitant prices. But if I were to search popsicle sticks or coffee stir sticks, they would charge way less because there is not even the implication of, oh, you're just going to use it and then throw it away. So you so to get materials for cheaper, at least in my line of making stuff, I always look for the other routes where it might not be associated with my hobby because it's usually a lot cheaper. Like there are with 3D printing, you need to cure it over under UV light, and to buy a UV light curing station can be quite expensive. But painting your nails, you also need to cure um, some nails under UV light. So if you place it under, if you search for a UV nail curing salon rather than a UV printing curing, you'll get something for much cheaper because nail painting has been around for a long time. They have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different options and a lot of much cheaper. It's sometimes it's off brand, sometimes it doesn't work too great, but you can get the main bulk of your material. And even then, if the UV curing station breaks, you could fiddle around and make it work to the way you
Mm-hmm.
need it.
Okay, and she said, I never heard of that. That's what the heck. And then she said, yes, I use a nail lamp for my UV resin as well.
Yeah, it is
And she
much
said,
much
that's
cheaper.
ridiculous as well. That
Yeah.
is ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. You can get UV lights from that Vipon app I told you about. They
Oh,
have them.
I think I might look into that because my UV lamp is a currently it's a bug zapper that I tore
Mm,
apart my UV lamp. So I
yeah.
think I might look at getting something more proper.
Precious, how many watts was the one we recently got for such a low cost? I think it was like 74 watts. It's they got high watts and they're normally like $40, 30, $40, and you get it for like 15 bucks, 10, 15 bucks. So they have great deals. She said, "Yep, that's where I got mine." Yeah, so what did we I think it was like what, 75? No, no, it was 120 watts. 120 watts for that. And
I
I think
think
we paid
I
like
might
15,
look into
$20 for that. It is
picking something
awesome
like that up.
deals.
That sounds
Awesome
good.
deals. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody, you know, who's in here, you guys get that Vipon app. I don't make any money off of it. I'm just telling you guys, it's going to save you lots and lots of money. Nobody listens to me. But I got I got a video for you guys. I got to put it together. I just have a lot of stuff that I want to, you know, gather up to show you the deals that I have, to show you that these products are actually great products. Just like if you were to buy it off of Amazon, you can buy it through Vipon and then you get the same product. And the same time that you get it from Amazon, you're going to get it through Vipon as well. So yeah, I got my daughter in line to Vipon. So now we just buy lots of things off of Vipon. So that way, through Vipon's coupons, it's cool. So I was actually making Christmas gifts and lost track of time. That's why I was late. LOL. It's okay. It's okay. I appreciate you coming in. You know, I appreciate you. Do you have any more questions for him? Yeah, so we actually we before she started doing crafts, I'm sorry, the doing the decals and the cups and all that. We do nails. Like I do nails and she does nails as well. That's why we got the UV lights, but they end up coming in handy for resin as well. It's called UV resin. It's not the
Yeah.
regular resin, but the UV resin. Because the other resin
And
takes like 8 hours or more. It's crazy.
if you're looking to get some UV resin, uh there will be like little dropper bottles of UV resin, which can be quite expensive. I think it's getting cheaper and cheaper as it goes. But if
Hmm.
you're looking to get quite cheap UV resin, um, it is a bit more difficult to work with. But the UV resin for 3D printers is
Hmm.
often quite a lot cheaper than the small bottles, and you get like a whole liter of that. Like I was getting a whole liter of like clear UV resin for about 80 Australian dollars, which would be something much more reasonable in America. Yeah, 50 American dollars,
Okay.
something around that for a bottle of like a whole liter of UV resin.
Wow.
Um, Rather than you might be paying quite exorbitant prices for a little bottle, because
Yeah.
I at least was stuck in that sort of
Yeah.
rut for a bit.
Okay. Yeah, we got our UV resin when it was on Bipon.
Yeah, so you probably got it for quite cheap then.
Yeah, it was like regular, what was it, about like $24, 24, $25, and then we paid like 10, 15 at the most, no more than that. Because like I said, it's 50% to 85%, depending on the products that they put on there. What is your next question? Because she said I have one more. Um, I might need to look into that. LOL. Okay. I use a lot of resin. Yeah. So that resin that you're talking about, the printing resin, is the UV resin for printers. Is
Yeah,
that mixed already, or is it like you have to mix it? Because that's my problem with resin. Is if you don't put the exact amount one on one, it will. It's a mess, a big
yeah.
mess.
The SLA, it'll come under, if you search SLA resin, you'll get the good stuff, and it's all pre-mixed, and it comes in like really large sizes. I'm looking at some. It's in grey, so it might not be quite the color that you're looking for. Clear is obviously you can tint it and do a lot more with clear.
Hmm.
Um, but for this grey, it's like 33 Australian dollars, which will come down to like 20 American dollars for like a whole liter of it.
Oh,
And you get a lot of use out of that, especially if you find a good brand that you work with. The only problem is UV resin can be a bit, at least the stuff for 3D printers. We don't quite know the ramifications of long-term exposure yet, so it's good to wear a glove and be in a well-ventilated area while you're using it. But I'm sure
yeah.
you're already doing that.
Have you heard of the the side effects of it? I've heard it wasn't that great. So can you tell us a little bit about? I know you probably know more than I do. What are the side effects from UV resin?
So far, the the only side effect that I know of that is at least documented or research has some research behind it is eczema. So if you're in a high exposed area, you can start developing eczema if you're constantly handling it with your hands.
Hmm.
So it's very important to wear gloves. And even worse, if you're inhaling it a lot, you can end up with eczema in your lungs, which is, I think, some kind of bronchitis or something like that in your lungs, which is absolutely awful, and you do not want that at all. So you want to be in a well ventilated area, and you want to be wearing a mask all the time while handling it.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen some side effects, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to get sick because respiratory problems. I already have that from the the
Yeah,
C-19. I ended up getting it last year, and it lasted me a little over 2 months. And I don't want it from resin as well. I don't want to make it worse by having resin around. So I definitely will take heed to that, ventilation and masks and gloves and all that. I mean, I already use gloves, but sometimes those gloves will tear and you'll get it on your hands and oh my God, you can never get this stuff off. It's hard to take off.
yeah. I are constantly using It is an Australian brand, so you might not have it. It is called Isocol. It
Mm-hmm.
is rubbing alcohol, antiseptic. It completely clears up your hands, and it's perfect for washing your hands after everything. And despite the big C, Isocol has not really gone up in price that much, so it's pretty affordable, at least here for me. So try and find some really good rubbing alcohol for cheap somewhere online or in stores, and be constantly washing your hands with that after handling resin.
Okay, so the alcohol, like you mean rubbing alcohol? Because I have a lot of that. Since I do nails, I have to have a lot of that
Yeah,
for
yeah,
my
something like that.
yeah, for the nails. So let's see. She had a question. She says, I'm gonna look into it. And she said, I use a lot of resin, regular price, oh, $16, and we paid $8 plus tax. Because now, thanks to Co, we have to pay taxes. I'm just saying. It's crazy. But before that, we didn't have to pay taxes. But that C19 got us everywhere. Now she says, the question is, what is your greatest aspiration dream for your builds?
I make things to play games. So I just want to be able to make things and play games with my friends. But outside of that, with YouTube, I want to just try and inspire people to make more stuff and teach them a way it might be a bit easier.
Okay. She said, I just had to buy new things of UV resin, and it was $18 for a small bottle because they didn't have it on Vipon. Yeah, it kind of sucks because once you use it, that's the only problem with the coupons, unless they put a whole new coupon number on there. You end up having to pay full price because of it doesn't work more than one time per person, and that's why you're able to they're able to keep this business going because can you imagine somebody steadily using it over, coming back and getting it again whenever they
Yeah.
feel like it? They'll go broke. So it's like for a certain amount of people. And then now the Vipon, actually, when you use Vipon, you get points, and the points turn into money. So like right now I'm at, like, I think it was like $6 and maybe 50 cents or something. So it's 650 means $6.50. So if you get
Yeah.
1,300, you get $13 to use towards products that you want to purchase. Okay, so let's see. And then after a certain amount of money, a certain amount of points, and like I think it's $20. I believe it was $20. Once you get to that 2,000 points, you can put that into your bank account or use it on whatever. Like you send it to your account, so it turns into
Wow.
cash. So basically, if you let's just say you spent, I don't know, $20 recently. Guess what? You just got a free item, right? For free.
Hmm.
Free is cool.
Free is good.
Yes, very much so. She said in you got in the beginning of this year, January. What? What did I get? I don't know. I don't remember. Oops, see, you got me on that one. Oh, the resin? Or are you talking about the C? It was this year? I thought it was 20. Okay, you know what? You know more than I do. My memory's not that great. Sorry. We do this because she'll remind me of things that I kind of forget. I could have sworn it was 2020. So this is this year. No wonder I'm still suffering with the respiratory. Hasn't gone anywhere. I literally can walk from one spot to the next and I will lose my breath as if I just ran a mile. Okay, let's see. She says that's great aspiration. Yes, it is. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, the C. Okay. And she said, no, it was nearly my birthday. I know it was nearly your birthday, but I thought it was last year's birthday, not this year's birthday. Okay. So I've been telling everybody 2020, but oh my goodness. Yeah. My memory's shot. I
All
had
these
a,
past years have kind of melded into one, as with
right.
this pandemic
Yeah.
going on.
Exactly. And then the thing is not only that, I suffer with memory, a lot of short memory loss. Um, I can't remember 1 minute to the next, to tell you the truth. So I have to, like, if somebody's talking and if I have something to say, I'm like, can I say what I have to say? Because I'll forget. And that's how I kind of get what I have to say out. I don't try to be rude or anything. It's just I'll forget, and then it's gonna be like a hot mess. But I did a few years back. I had a heat stroke, so it took away a lot of my memories. Um, it was 112 degrees. I ended up in a hospital. They put me on IV, um, and I've been suffering ever since. I had no problem with my memory until that day. Everything just kind of went blank. So my kids are with me, and they asked the doctor, "Is my mom going to be okay?" And all the doctor could say is, "We're going to try," because my potassium level dropped to zero. My eyes flipped to the back of my head. I was seeing lights. You know that lights that people keep talking about. Don't go to the light. Yeah, don't go to the light. Um, so let's see. She said it truly has. And then she said, I still can't get over the fact that this year is basically over and it feels like it's just started. Yeah, I know, huh? So glad we were okay from that time. Yeah, she also I think, didn't you get it as well? Hi, Misunderstood. How are you, sweetie? Thank you for coming in. Please subscribe to Falvodor. He does arts and crafts. And it's like it says on here, one man's treasure, I'm sorry, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So he's great at what he does. It's in the clouds. Okay. Get what? What do you mean get what? Oh, did you have the C as well? I don't remember if you I think you, well, no. At the time that I got sick, didn't you say that you thought you had it as well? I don't know. We're not going to keep talking about that. I think that's going to take the fun out of this live here. Send us to a whole nother level here. Okay. Give me a second. My son I forgot to send him these pictures of this jewelry that he purchased. I think he wants to put it on Instagram. And my son, his art, he does great work, and his is like, let me show you what he does. Let me see if I could pull up anything, because he keeps changing his name on his Instagram. Okay. He does this kind of art. He just randomly takes things and just draws them out of his head.
That's good.
Yeah. He's into that third eye thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is another picture. See all those eyes? Yeah, he does the third eye. So yeah, he's into art. Um, I asked him if he wanted me to interview him because I told him I was interviewing you, and he's like, "You never interviewed me," and I was like, "Well, do you want me to interview you?" He's like, "No, not really." I'm like, well, then why did you come up with that? Come on. 21 subs. That one. If so, I'm on 22. Yes. Yes. Let's see. And Precious is my daughter-in-law, Misunderstood. My beautiful daughter-in-law. She's married to my youngest. They're 20. Well, she's going to be 23. He's 23 already. He just turned 23. Let's see. Does anybody else have any questions for him? And Precious said she subbed as well.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome. Hopefully you'll have more to come as they watch more of the video and see what the video's about. Um, you remember Precious? Oh, okay, cool. So, anybody have any questions? Oh, she said, "What do you think is the most important aspect when creating your builds?"
Uh, I used to really kind of look for realism
Mm-hmm.
in stuff that I was making, but I've found with working with stuff that is just, recycling, realism is a bit harder to achieve because making realistic things, you're going to need to spend a bit more time and a bit more money to make um, very good looking materials that will then lend itself to looking like real grass and real bricks and stuff like that. So I've found now the most important aspect for what I'm making is creating like a consistent style where I can put like all of the things together and it kind of looks like um, they all fit in the same world. And that sort of style, I'm kind of going for a more cartoony, sort of very vibrant and contrasting sort of paint jobs and stuff like that in
Mm-hmm.
everything that I'm making now.
Okay. And my son has also subscribed as well.
Thank you.
And how many subscribers did you start with? Because he's new. So just so y'all know, he is new. What do you remember how many subscribers you had before you got on here? I should have checked it.
Something like 17 maybe.
Okay, well, you're on 24.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be f- for coming up to PewDiePie in no time. You better watch out.
Yes.
1 billion subscribers incoming.
Yes. So since you will, you're gonna fly. Trust me, you're doing great. She says, I'm not sure if this has been asked either, but do you sell your builds? And if not, do you have desire to sell your builds? No, it hasn't been really asked. Not like that. Differently, but not like that.
I
Right.
don't really sell anything. Most of the stuff I make is built for purpose for games that I'm running. But other than that, I don't really sell anything. Um, but recently, my father's been trying to take things that I've made and he's them on listings on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that for very exorbitant prices. I don't think I don't think he'll get the money that he thinks, but he seems to believe in it. So more power to him.
Okay. Precious says, okay, that's cool. Yeah, he's got great answers. I mean, he's got answers for everything. I haven't heard anything that he kind of stuttered on at all. He says what he says, and this is what it is. Trevor and I are watching your videos while watching this live as well. So you will be getting some time as well on your watch hours. Do you follow your watch hours?
Not really. I don't really. I just put the video up and kind of forget about it. Really.
I got you. Yeah. Well, not do I just want to also I want to be not I'm not worrying about too much about the monetized part of it, but I do want to grow, and I want my family members in here to grow as well with me. My dolphins, I want them to grow as well. Um, and I want to try to get to 500 so I can start putting things on my community. When I get things on, when I start doing my community, I'm going to be like, I'm going to do this on a regular. I'm going to keep them coming. Questions, surveys. I'm just going to keep people busy and entertained. Um, Still doing my lives, still doing my uploads, but at the same time, I'll also have that to work on as well, because I see a lot of people who are able to, like, just say, I want to show your video. I want your video to come out. I want to share it. I could share it on my community tab, and you'll grow from that as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
let's
cool. I
see.
didn't even think of that.
hmm And Precious said, because he has passion about what he does. Yes, yes, he does. Definitely. See, let's see. It's good that your dad believes in your work. The best part about doing things you like to do and having people that believe in the value of your work. Yes. So yeah, I never did ask you that. What do your parents think about you doing your crafts?
For the longest time, I mean, uh, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. That looks nice. But what's the point? You know?
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, it's just a hobby. So you just do it for fun. But the more I kind of get into it, the more it's like my dad's like, "Hey, you can make money. You want to make money off this? You could. That's totally something that could happen." And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna. If you're not gonna start making money off it, I'm gonna start making money off it." I'm like, "All right,
Hmm.
you try your best."
Hmm. Exactly. She said, "Oh, this family's going to grow together." Yes, definitely going to grow together. Yeah, that's how I want my channel to grow, with family members. Because let's just, you go get subscribers just to subscribe, and they're not even going to be looking at your videos. That's like not a waste of their time, and not just a waste of their time, a waste of your time to be trying to get them to subscribe. I want people actually who subscribe are my family members, and I want them to stick with me through my whole journey, see how I grow. Because if you would have seen my videos, oh my gosh, the story I have for you. My videos were horrible. I grew from my other videos. I lost one channel to doing reactions on someone who has millions of subscribers, and they just took my channel straight down. They didn't even give me a chance. They just went, take it away. She's not supposed to watch my videos. She's not supposed to be reacting to my video, and they took it away. So I had to regrow this. I had almost 300 at the time. I was actually at 302, then I dropped down to 298, and that's when they took my channel. Because you will have ups and downs with your just your family members. So
Yeah,
just so you know, some are real and some of them just kind of come in just to see what you're doing, and then, say a few things and then leave out. But your family members will be the ones that are going to stick by you through the whole time. But yeah, I lost that channel. I was like, oh, that's okay. So I started new, and all my family members here are actually my family members who come in and go, come and go. They don't stay all the time because a lot of them work. I can't expect them to take their time from work just to get on my live. So I just,
yeah.
they come in whenever they want, talk, chill. I have a lot of people who get on my panel that never have gotten on anybody else's panels, but got on my panel. And they're like, people were like, how do you get people on your panel? I just ask. Either they, I don't force it, but I do ask if they'd like to come up. I ask them if they have an iPhone or an Android, and then go from there. I show them how to do it. A lot of people, it's because they don't know how to do it. So anything difficult or different, they're going to try to fight it. Like, I'm not getting up there. That's going to be too hard. I'm not going to look like, like I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and stay right here in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the kind of things they do. Most definitely. Yeah. Do you have any more questions? Oh, Trevor says that your content's great, your titles are great, and your videos, and your videos, and he believes that he will have a successful channel very soon.
Thank you, Trevor. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
that's my son. Yeah, he's amazing. And he doesn't just say things. He actually, when he believes in something, he's not gonna just kind of say things. He's gonna, whatever he believes in, he's gonna say it. If he doesn't believe it, he would never speak it. He'd just leave it like, whatever kind of
Yeah,
thing. He's not
yeah.
gonna say
I'm the
anything
same.
negative, but he's definitely not gonna be like, oh yeah, you're gonna be great, and nope, that's not gonna happen. But no, if he says you're gonna do great, that means he likes what you see. He likes what he sees in your videos, in your content.
Yeah, I like that vibe. The whole vibe you give off, it's everything's real genuine, and what you're talking about with your family members and stuff. It's like it's a really unique approach to like doing stuff online, and You see a lot of people just kind of exploiting the system, trying to make as much money as they can and run off after they've caused their fair share of controversy. But I mean, something like this is a genuinely nice experience that you can have on the internet is very few and far between.
Yes. And no drama. I don't like drama. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you a story. I like to watch drama, but I don't want to be in the middle of drama at all.
Yeah,
Like I like it to be
there's
like
definitely
this,
something.
family orientated. I mean, my videos are not family oriented because we have people that come up and they start cursing, and I'm not going to have a child listen to that. So that part, that's probably about as drama as you're going to get, is the little cursing that they use in here. And I do curse. I'm not going to sit there and say I have a clean mouth, because I do sometimes let those words out of my mouth as well. I think I get mines are more out like when I get excited. They're not from anger. They just come out. Let's see. Street said, "This is a great interview. You knew. Oh, thank you. And the talent of this young man makes me want to save my recycling." Oh, you're so sweet.
Yes,
And
save
go
up
ahead.
and start making.
Yes. Precious says he likes social media marketing, so he likes to comment on when people are doing great things with their social medias. Oh, okay. So he's going to comment on his, but not mine. I got you. I got you, son. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, he actually he does trading, stocks and trading. Amazing. He has his own little setup. He's got a little desk and he's got monitors. He looks like he's in the actual, like when you go to one of those places that have big screens on the walls. Well, he doesn't have the big
Yeah.
screens, but he's got a big enough screen, two monitors, computer, and he's goes at it with all those lines. All I can tell you is they're like this. So, and he does an amazing job. He's a mentor. He teaches how to trade, when to get in and get out, all that stuff. He's amazing. Let's see. Um, she said, and Scree said, same here. Oh, Precious. I'm sorry. Precious said, same here. So I guess she's saying or what are you saying? Same here. Okay. It is really a great interview. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I've run out of questions, so I'm just listening and commenting. LOL. I got you. You did great. Thank you. I appreciated it. Anybody else have any questions? And if you want to ask a question, if you're not a family member, then guess what? You have to become a member to actually ask a question or make comments in here. So I have 5 in here, but I see 2 people making comments or asking questions. So to become a family member is free. It's not a membership. It's just to become a family member in the Dolphin family. So anybody has any more questions for this young man? Very talented young man. And if you guys missed anything, please go back and rewatch watch the parts that you missed, which is probably the very beginning. So you can see the products, the arts, the crafts that he makes. Amazing. Amazing crafts. Yeah, Lola's, you know how she is. She's always up under me. Oh, you're agreeing with Screech. Okay. Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it. I'm going to have to go back and look at them. Yeah, they're awesome. I brought them up closer so you guys could actually really see more of the detail work, especially with the, what do you call those? The carts. What's the carts called?
Stagecoach.
The Stagecoach. You should see those. They're so amazing on the details, the doors, the hinges, everything. You have to look at it. It's amazing. Great, great, great art and craft. Great
Thank you.
crafting. You're welcome. And I'm not just saying that because that's amazing work that you're doing. Because I don't know, maybe I've never really looked into it, so I've never seen it. But you're probably the first person I've seen use things that people consider trash as treasure into a
There
treasure.
there are a lot of great channels on YouTube who make a lot of stuff like this. Um, they're all over the place. There's a whole there's a huge catalog you can go through. Um, and they're all really super impressive.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that because, like she said, she definitely never seen it herself. And Precious is in the YouTube. Like she'll look at all types of videos, especially anything to do with creating things and doing, designing things and things for less. I mean, she's in there. I mean, and she watches people cleaning things, like it's crazy how much she watches YouTube. She said, when can we expect your new video?
I try to have a new video out every Monday. So for you guys, it would be Sunday night, roughly.
Okay.
That'll be out sometime around then. Yeah.
Okay. She said, well, I would say I've never seen with these types of, yeah, with the type of supplies that you're using. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like the things that he's using. I've seen people make arts and crafts, but they go into the store and buy things. I've never really seen somebody using this tiniest things like shavings of wood. Isn't that what you said? Something with the
Yeah.
wood, the shavings of wood. He did things with that. So, I mean, that's, he's doing it, the nicest little designs, but they're low cost because he doesn't have to do anything but buy like glue, paint, things that he would need that you cannot just come out of, toilet paper, what they call those, the cardboard part of it, or the boxes. I mean, unless it's that kind of thing, yeah, it probably comes easier and free sometimes. But the other stuff that he has to buy, that's the only thing that he has to buy. Everything else is free. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you creating? I'm sorry. Are you creating awareness for that niche?
Yeah. That's what I want to do. That's what I like to do, just to make people uh aware that you can make stuff. You can just start making stuff right now. And just with the things you have around the house, it's very easy.
Okay. I've never even like thought about doing that, making things. I mean, I'd probably sit there and go, well, what should I do with this piece? Oh, I know I could just put this on top of this. And when I make something, it probably looked just like a mountain of hot mess. I don't think I have that creativity for that. The only thing I used to do when I was younger was to take pieces of paper. Don't ask me why, because I used to do this. I would cut the paper in tiny, tiny pieces, pretend like I'm having a salad, and then toss it on the back of my bed. It wouldn't cause roaches or anything because it's not a real salad. So I didn't think anything of it. I would just dump it back there. Every week my mom would go and pull the bed away. It's just like, didn't I just have you cleaning this? What is all this paper down here? That kind of thing. But that would be my creativity. Other than, I do like I said, I do nails and I do the resins. That's about all. But with resin, you're taking a mold and you're just filling it up and putting glitter and designing it. That's my design. That's part of my creativity. What to put inside the molds to make that resin to come out like
Yeah.
that. But as far as like what you're doing, no, I don't see myself doing that. I
Yeah,
wish I could.
I think definitely everyone can give it a good go, because creativity at the end of the day is just another muscle. Like your biceps, you just got to work it out, and you just got to keep trying and keep experimenting with different stuff, because you will definitely get to a place where you're happy with the sort of things that you can make.
Okay. I'm going to try and I will send it to your email and you're going to see what is this mess this lady just sent me. um, Precious says, I've done one thing that could be considered building with cheaper supplies, and that was a table for my mom.
See there, you just no matter how big or small, find things and just piece them together. Like currently I've three tables in my workroom, and of that, two of them are tables that we've picked up from the side of the road during skip day and just taken them apart and rebuilt them to fit what we
Mm-hmm.
need. And just like I don't know if this is something you'd have in America, but a big thing in Western Australia specifically, because we all have really big front lawns most of the time, and the curb has a lot of space. Once or twice a year, you'll just be able to take all of your rubbish,
Mm-hmm.
all of like your big stuff, like your couch, your mattress,
Mm-hmm.
a refrigerator, things that you have but you don't want, and you don't want to take it to the skip, you don't want to take it to the landfill. You
Mm-hmm.
just dump them out the front of your house, and a few weeks later they'll come round in these big trucks and pick them all up. So in that handful of weeks, you just drive around the neighborhoods where it's going on, and you can find some gold lying down in the gutter. I
Mm-hmm.
had a friend. Recently, they went to the richer district, Applecross in Perth, quite a rich area. They
Mm-hmm.
picked up a TV that was on the side of the road, fully working. This like huge TV. Um, they picked up a toaster, which they didn't wash, so I'm not going to have toast out of that. Um, but they picked up all of these electronics, speaker systems, just dumped on the side of the road, and like even that they're not really making anything, but recycling comes in so many different forms, and we're really lucky in Australia to be able to do that sort of thing and just grab other people's stuff, because most of the time it's still working, or you can make it work with some effort.
Yeah. We do have a guy, well, not a guy, trash man, whatever you want to call it. It could be a woman, it could be a man. Here, you never know what you're going to get. But they do pick up like trash, but anything like a refrigerator, dryers, anything like that, there's people who come around that pick up your tin. I guess it's considered aluminum, tin, metal, whatever the refrigerators and the stuff is made of, and they'll come pick it up and do things with. They'll go fix it and have a whole new refrigerator, not a brand new one, but one that they can sell. They fix them and sell them.
Yeah,
That's what they do. So, but as far as like maybe mattresses and wood, like scraps and stuff, yeah, we do have someone that picks that up every week on Fridays. But you have to call it in, of course, or they don't come.
yeah.
Um, she said, I made it with a piece of wood that I found in the forest behind my aunt's house, and made it like a deer crossing sign with wood and a wood burning gun. Wow. Okay. And the deer, she says, and a deer out of the twigs and small wood and cardboard pieces. That's cool. So
That
similar to
sounds
the
awesome.
spring cleaning. Yeah. Yes, it is that kind of thing. Precious. She says that's cool. Okay. Didn't watch it. Didn't wash it. Didn't wash what?
They didn't wash the toaster they picked up off the side of the road. They
Mm,
just plugged it straight in. It works, but I'm not going to have toast out of
yeah,
that.
no, that's kind of gross. You don't know what was growing in there while it was on the ground. Let's see. Anybody has any more questions? We had 2 hours. I've taken 2 hours of your time. Totally
I've enjoyed
appreciate you.
it entirely.
Thank
It's
you.
absolutely loved it. Thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate having you here as well. So, any more questions? I would love for you to come back and show more, creativity and more of your crafts if you'd
Yeah.
like. And you could also just hop up on the panel when we have discussions. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna have, well, actually, the people they're a little bit bigger than I, well, not a little bit, a lot bigger than I am. One's like over 4K, the other one's like over 8K, And I have a case that I've been into from the beginning. His name is Daniel Robinson. And I had interviews with the father. I've had 3 times. One time with the panel, and he was on my panel, and the other 2 was just over the phone because he didn't have the time to set his phone up, and it wasn't, basically I got him at the last minute, and he was, he'd call right back. So what ends up happening is they saw my interview with him on the panel, and they said, "Oh, that was a great interview, and we would like to, come. We would like you to come share it, on the live." When I was up there, like I normally do, I kind of like go through channels, and I don't like I said, I don't like drama channels. I like crime channels. I like game channels, things like that. And so they asked me to come up. We showed the video on the live, my whole video, just about like all the way to the end almost. And then they also asked me if I can give them, contact information. And they also wanted me to join them. So tomorrow they'll be sending me the link, and I will be joining them on the panel asking the father questions.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I like doing interviews, especially when you have, I have a little knowledge on arts and crafts, but not like the ones you have. I was like, whoa, I don't have any of this. I hope I have the right questions for him. Um, she said time flew. Yeah, it did. Let's see. Looking forward to that new video. Okay. Yeah, I'll be looking at his videos as well. All of them to the end. Give that, you guys make sure you don't skip around. Um, Screech said, I'm sorry, Screech. I always call her Screech, but it's Screech says, "Oh wow, that's really good interview. I was just gonna ask that. Stop reading my mind, you knew." You're good. I didn't try, and my dog is literally over here trying to bite. Look at her. Look at her. She wants to play. She's like, "Okay, that's enough for the live. Get off." Yes, Screech. But yeah, so I definitely would love to have you on our panel. If you want to we have discussions. I mean, if you're okay with a little bit of cursing, if
Yeah.
your family's okay with it, I would love to have you on our panel and just hang out with us. Even when we do a mukbang, I would love to have you on our mukbang. The only thing is you have to show your face, and I know you don't really want to at this time, but are you ever going to want to do that? Or are you going to just stay behind your avatar?
I think I'll be behind the camera for the time being.
Okay, I got you. Maybe sometime later, right? When you get more comfortable. Because it took me a while to get comfortable. I was like, I'm staying right behind my avatar. I hope you guys are
Yeah.
okay with that. But then I was like, come on. I was told, come on, get from behind your avatar. People want to talk to you. They want to get to know you, not your avatar. And I said,
Yeah.
okay. So I started doing it, and now I'm more comfortable. I'm okay with it. I see that I haven't gotten any backlash from showing myself, because some people, you know, they body shame people, and I'm not the best body. So, you know, but what cursing? No. Yeah. What I'm talking about. Stop playing, Precious. So yeah, if it's okay, like you could come up here when we're just talking, randomly talking. I'm actually going to do my next mukbang is going to be flaming hot popcorn. I just bought some today. So yeah, I like hot stuff. Have you ever seen any of my videos?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of what was it? The
The
one
one
chip challenge?
you saw
Yeah.
it? Yeah,
Oh
I
my
made it
God.
into a short one. I
I
made it
could
into a
not
short one.
imagine. I
It
could
was
not
hot.
imagine eating that.
It
Yeah.
was it was three days of heat in my stomach. Couldn't get rid of the pain, but it just kind of went away a little bit at a time, but it was just for 3 days of burning stomach. Yeah. Come join the family conversations. We're funny, I promise. Yeah. So yeah. That was funny. So yeah, it was funny. I had people like they're in there. They're like, I don't know how you did it, but yeah, I enjoyed doing it. It's just the only thing that I didn't like about it is when I got lightheaded. I didn't think I was gonna get lightheaded from that chip, and I got lightheaded. I felt like I was gonna pass out from the heat in my stomach and my head spinning. And then the thing is I didn't eat anything because I thought if I ate anything, I would definitely get sick. But my mouth's, like I don't know if you drink anything, but your mouth becomes like really watery. So you feel like you're about to just let it out. That's what I thought
Yeah.
was going to happen on the live. And I'm glad it did not. Funny at first, then it made me a little worried. I know everybody said the same thing. They start praying for me. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm going through it, but I'm okay. I appreciate y'all though. I appreciate the love. So yeah. And then I have like I said, my Daniel, I'm sorry, yeah, Daniel Robinson, which is his father, David. I also did it without him. I also do, uh, I do other, crime things. I did one about a school where, the guys are putting their hands on females without their permission, that type of thing. So I do a little bit of everything. I do games. I do game nights. I do game day. I'm sorry, game day. I'm getting ready to do another game day, and I do giveaways after I got to 100. I did a giveaway. Somebody did win, and I did the shout out for them. That is included in the gift. And then my next one's 200, 300, and so forth and so forth. So yeah, they get a free gift. They don't even have to purchase anything. They just come on and play. From now on, now not now on, but for a while, I'm going to start using my Nightbot because my Nightbot will do a number choice. They'll choose the number, and whoever puts the number in the chat will be the winner of the tickets until my 200. Then I'll do my giveaway. So every time I get 100, I'll give another gift away.
I see.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. And I don't expect them to do anything but be part of this family. They don't have to go to my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, none of that. I mean, by choice, if they want to, they can, but they don't have to. That's not part of the rules. My rule is just be part of the family and pick the right number so you can get your tickets. That's it. That is all. Yeah. Any more questions? Because I think we're good now. Yeah, no more questions. I don't see any more questions. So thank you guys for coming and being so nice to him. I love that you guys are sweet like that. Like you're not, being rude or anything or coming in here with trolls. I'm so glad I don't have any trolls. Trolls are rude. Don't ever try not to get trolls in your lives because they're rude. They say things that are just very rude. She said, no, I don't have any more. Sorry. No, you did great. You're fine. You're fine.
Thank you. Appreciate the questions.
Yeah, she said, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. He's saying thank you to you. She said, thank you both for the great interview. You're welcome. The rest of it was just chatting, but the interview was the interview. So this is what I do. I don't like just interview, be like, bye y'all, leave, get off my chat. No, not like that. Much love to you too, Trending. Thank you. Screech just said she subscribed and will be watching all your videos. So you're going to be getting a lot of watch hours. Hopefully, if everybody on here that said they subscribed starts watching your videos, you'll start getting your hours.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
You just need 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers to become monetized.
That seems like a very long way in the future then.
Yeah, it's not that easy. People think it's easy, but it's really not. I think a lot of people with drama channels, those grow really fast, but I'd rather not. I don't want nobody doxing me, contacting me, irritating me, none of that. I'd rather be safe and sound and keep my family safe and sound as well. So say trending says, sorry, I was on the background finishing some marathon. Left sissy. Oh, are you doing more hours? Yeah, because I think it's almost time for you guys to finish for the year, right? I think that's how it goes. I'm not sure. I still have to figure that one out. Love all the information and new ideas. She's telling you that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And more to come.
Already hit the bell. Thank you. Appreciate it, trending. Anytime you're a part of the family now, we got you. She's talking to you.
Thank you.
So, all right. You have a great evening. Or, you got morning. I'm sorry. He's in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's AM over there. So it's literally 12 o'clock.
It's just hit 12.
PM,
Yeah.
right? 12 o'clock PM? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 12 o'clock PM over there. So you have a great afternoon. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And anytime, like I said, you are very welcome to our family, okay? You're part of the family now.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate it.
All right.
Have a good night.
And if you ever need anybody, like if you start doing StreamYards and you need anybody on your panels, I got you. Just let me know. You got my email. I got yours.
We'll be in touch.
All right. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, guys. We're going to go with, let's see. Good night.